What is up, you guys? Welcome back to Me TV Reviews. I am your host, Mo, and today we're going to be discussing a quick little snippet of 911 Nashville. Now, of course, y'all know this is my neck of the woods, so I had to give y'all a little something now. I don't know if I'm going to be doing episode per episode, but just know that I'm going to be watching it, so I might jump in every 2 or 3 episodes and give y'all a little quick recap, okay? So without further ado, I don't even think I have the y'all. Yep. I'm gonna give y'all a quick little snippet. I don't even have the synopsis for this one, y'all. So we start this episode off with a concert. We start this episode off with a Kane Brown concert. There's a lady and a pyrotechnician talking over the walkies, and she is telling him that it's about time for them fireworks to go off. But unfortunately, the wind has picked up. Okay, it is very windy, and so this girl get real nervous about the stage being set on fire. We don't need Kane Brown being burnt to a crisp because yeah, the show is not going to be null and void after that. And so the guy who is at the top of the stage setting, he's at the top and he's got the little remote in his hand to let the techniques, the fireworks. He's ready to go ahead and let them things go off. Okay? And so she's telling him, "Don't you do it, don't you do it." And he thinks that this is a joke. And I was like, "See, why I got to be a black man? Why are you being hard-headed?" Okay? Now, if you like this man on fire, that's your behind, Mr. Postman. Okay? So he's laughing and chuckling the whole way through. The wind is clearly blowing at this point. You know, people are starting to look around like, "Oh, where that gust of wind come from?" You know, it's hot outside. Thank you for the wind, but that was a little too much on the back end. And so he decides to let the fireworks off. They go off without a hitch. She breathes a sigh of relief. However, right after that, the stage collapses. Okay, so now Kane Brown, he's okay. He is all right. But the man is stuck up top, unbeknownst to us. We don't know if the people up under that is okay because it was a whole performance underway. We don't know. Now Kane Brown did say, hey y'all in the audience, y'all need to move because something is finna get ready to happen here. Get out the way." And so they started running. Now I don't know if his musicians heard that was, doing the backup thing. But yeah, the stage collapsed, y'all. So they end up calling 911. Now put that on pause for a second and we're gonna come back to that. Because over there, uh down on Broadway, to be exact. And I love the fact that they're showing all of these landmarks for Nashville. It's real cute, okay? But don't nobody get no ideas. If you ain't already here, don't be trying to show up. There's a lot happening here already. We don't need no more chaos. Okay. So something's happening down on Broadway. The girls is having a good old time on pedal, the pedal tavern. That's when you be pedaling like you on a bicycle and you getting drunk. Now, while there is a lady, is she supposed to be steering them the way that they supposed to go? Yeah, I believe she is, y'all. There's this bachelorette party happening, and they got these hideous dresses on, but I think that's all, to play that up. I think that's a part of the thing. Wear these ugly dresses with these ugly hats, and we're gonna have a good old time. Save a horse, ride a cowboy. That's what's playing. I like that song, by the way. So they having a good time, laughing it up, drinking it up. And one of the bridesmaids is talking to the bride about some hot dog that she ate earlier, some hot chicken, excuse me. They had to make sure that they threw the hot chicken in there. You should have said Princess Hot Chicken, because that's where it started. But okay, I digress. So she was like, "Girl, I ate the hot chicken earlier, and I don't think that was the move. Not with this liquor and stuff." And so one of the other bridesmaids that's sitting next to her, they might be frenemies. They might be on opposite sides of the friend spectrum with the bride, because they don't seem to be getting along too well. So old girl is starting to look kind of ill in the face, and the bride is like, "Hey girl, you okay?" Molly, you okay, girl? You ain't saying nothing. I was like, "Oh my God, is she choking? Is she having an allergic reaction? What is going on here?" So just when it looked like she about ready to fall off the pedal, uh the lady who's steering the thing, she gets off, right? And she goes to check on the old girl. Why does half a fart? Well, I tell you, I would have put her off of there. This half a farted in her face, y'all. Farted in her face and started laughing, talking about, "Oh, well, I guess I just had gas, because she ain't supposed to be next to Skinny." Half was like, her frenemy. And so they laughing, y'all. They done started pedaling again. And I was like, ladies, y'all forgot somebody. Y'all forgot the most important person, the captain of the pedal tavern. Y'all, it's not funny. She's chasing, mm, she is chasing down this pedal tavern. I tried to say it without laughing. She's chasing down her own pedal tavern, and they finally realize, hey, we missing somebody. And they lose control of the thing. And they ended up crashing into this car, and then this car ended up crashing into that car. And long story short, the pedal tavern ended up on a couple of the bridesmaids. More specifically, the bridal party. More specifically, the bride. I think it had like hit her leg, and she was bleeding out pretty quickly. So while all of this is taking place, y'all, over there at the smokehouse, it's a strip joint. Or maybe they just have male review night or something like that. Because our boy Blue is over there in his best firefighter suit, and he is taking it off for the girlies who are getting real hot for him. He gonna have to hose them down in a minute. Okay. So there's this one lady, and I believe she might be handicapped. She's sitting down in her wheelchair, and this lady is being hella rude to her, just standing all in front of her, trying to look at this man, just being super thirsty. And so he notices this lady. She can't see nothing. This lady is being rude to her in front of her. And so he actually gives her a little bit of special attention. He hops off the stage. Now, I will say this is not the type of stage that you think it is. This is more like a runway stage for, like, when the drag queens are performing. It's one of them stages, right? So he hops down and he goes to put on a little private show, if you will, or a lap dance for this lady in a wheelchair. Everybody is included in my performance. We want to make sure that everybody has a good time. But he ends up getting scolded by his boss because, what type of shenanigans are you pulling? And I was like, sir, did you want the money to keep coming in or not? Who's upset by that? If anything, you might have reached a new demographic after tonight. So he was like, hey, man, you got one more time to pull that stunt. And then you up out of here. Now get ready, because we got a bachelorette party coming in a few minutes. But I think that bachelorette party is going to have to take a rain check, because I think this is the one that just crashed. So he hears it because he's outside, right? And he runs over to go check on them, and he ends up pulling the lady out from up under the pedal, and he uses one of his y'all, what is them things called? I am having a moment. Anywho, he used one of them little red things that, keep your pants hooked to you and keep them upright on you. Y'all are filling the blanks for me. I'm sorry, y'all. It's not coming. And he uses it as a tourniquet to stop the bleeding. Now, in the process of them doing that, somebody else has already called 911, while, of course, people are standing around recording versus jumping in to try to save this lady. I was like, excuse me, what? Nobody wants to actively try to help y'all, just waiting on this man to come and rescue her. So while he's putting his tourniquet on, he's finishing it up when the actual 911 paramedics come. Okay. And so they get there, and it looks like the job is pretty much done. They go ahead and help the people who need help. And in the process, the captain is like, "Oh, it's you." And then Blue stand up and look at the captain, and Blue was like, "Oh, it's you." What are the odds? Now let me rewind y'all, because I definitely forgot to tell y'all about this part. So after the Kane Brown concert uh got rained out, because a tornado is coming. A tornado is coming. That's where all them gusty winds is coming from. We go to a rodeo show that's happening that night now, or the night before, or 2 nights before, or something like that. I think it was 2 nights before. And we see our friend Ron and his son Ryan. Is it Ron and Ryan? Don. Y'all forgive me. His name is Don. Don and Ryan, they do this tandem rodeo thing where they have to lasso and subdue a bull. Okay, so it's like a tag team type of situation. And they're pretty good at this thing. So good, in fact, that they end up breaking the record for how quickly you can subdue said bull. So it's a good look, but Don's horse has been acting kind of antsy over the last couple of days. Okay. As a matter of fact, he was acting antsy. Duke the horse was acting antsy right before they went on to perform. And then even after, right after, when they were finna get ready to go back to the back again, y'all, Duke had ended up looked like he got spooked or something. And Don ended up falling off of said horse. So they walking on back, and we end up getting introduced to Don's wife, Blythe. Don's wife, Blythe. Ooh, that is a lot. And she's saying all the sweet things. They kissing and doing all that, grossing Ryan out. Okay. And then this is when we fast forward again to Blue and Don seeing each other, talking about, "Oh, it's you. Hey." So after everything is said and done, y'all, Ryan comes over and he talks to Blue. And he was like, "Man, you did a really good job back there. I see you got your firefighter suit on, but who you with? Because I ain't seen you around." And he was like, "Well, I'm actually over here at the smokehouse over here. I'm figuring to go do a performance in a minute." And he was like, "Man, I mean, if you ever up for it, we always hiring if you want to, become a firefighter or something like that." He was like, "Oh, really? I mean, I used to be a lifeguard back in the day, so I got a little bit of experience in life saving, but okay, I might take you up on that." So then when they start recognizing each other, Ryan is left out of the group chat, and he looking at his daddy like, "Who is this man to you?" And he was like, "Oh, Ryan, meet Blue. This is your brother." Say what? Excuse me? So after they get back to the office, of course, Ryan is lighting into his daddy. "What the hell you mean that's my brother?" So he goes on to explain that a long, long, long time ago, during a rough patch in his marriage to Blythe, they had decided to separate for a while. Well, while they were separated, he had hooked up with his ex, who happens to be a famous country singer. Okay, being played by Leanne Rhymes. I love it, y'all. Her name is Dixie in the show, yo. Show, yo. Her name is Dixie. Okay, so he was like, "Yeah, I slept around with my ex, and we were separated, and you had went off to some horse camp that summer or something like that, and I had received news that she was pregnant, and before we had picked you up, I had a conversation with your mama, and we agreed that it would be best if we didn't say anything to you. So you just gonna leave me in the dark about my long lost brother? I would be feeling away too. And so they said that it wasn't them. Blue Mama was the issue. Blue Mama was the one that was keeping him from seeing his son. See, you could have knew your brother a long time ago, but see, she was being spiteful. She was being evil. Okay, I can't stand that lady. And so the next morning, Blythe seems to be into the jockey thing with the horses. It seemed like they own a horse ranch and they do all sorts of things with the horses. And so she is training with one of the jockeys when Ryan comes over, and he's demanding an explanation from her too. What the hell is wrong with you? Why you didn't lead this man? How could he betray you and betray us like that? And you still stayed. And she was like, well, things are a little complicated, but don't think that I wasn't out here doing my thing too. Candy said, when you out in the club, don't think I'm not. Even when you out making love, don't think I'm not. Okay? She was getting hot in somebody's spot too. It just so happens that his spot came with a baby. And it was her decision to forgive him. And ever since then, we haven't kept anything from each other. He was like, but you knew? Yeah, I knew. And so she goes on to tell him that they've been paying for the baby. They have been paying for him for quite some time. However, because she thought, she being Dixie, thought that Don was going to leave his wife for her and they was going to live this happily ever after. And it didn't plan out that way. She decided to keep Blue away from him. Okay? She hurt all of us, especially you, because you could have known your brother all this time. And so he was like, man, I can't believe that. Daddy ain't never lied to me. Well, nobody's perfect, son. And unfortunately, you learned that lesson the hard way today. Now, we go back to the office and we see our girl, Haley. Haley Kilgore. She is here, y'all. She is singing and she sounds really good with her different accent. Her name is Taylor on this show. She's strumming her guitar and she sounds really good, y'all. She's singing over the phone to Cammie, who is one of the 911 operators. Okay, apparently they work as a music duo. I guess Cammie does she improves like her sound or, listens to her and gives her tips and tricks on how to sound better. So it seems like she might be like her manager or something like that. I'm not sure about that, but it seems like she's working with Taylor on her music, right? And so she's getting ready to gear up for some performance that she's got going on, and of course everybody's gonna be there to support her. Okay, so Blue comes in and he's introduced to everybody. We've got we work the room, and we've got Taylor, who is she's going to paramedic school. Roxy, who is like the doctor of the group, and a couple of more people that they introduced that I'm not familiar with just yet. And so he was like, oh yeah, and then he introduces Ryan, right? And so everybody comes up and shakes his hand, and Ryan gets to him and he was like, nice to meet you. And he don't extend his hand at first, but then he finally gives in. I guess you're right. Mm-hmm. And so he, Don tried to slip it in real fast that, oh yeah, not only is he training on site, but that's my son. Y'all go ahead and say hey to my son. And they was like, what? So just then they get the 911 call about the Kane Brown concert. So now they got to go. Now, throughout this episode, we've been getting news flashes of the weather updates. And the weather has been saying that the weather is going to be weathering extremely hard over this weekend. It's tornado season. They just pop in and out like a bad cold or something like that. And then they on their way. And so, of course, we all hate to hear this because they're so unpredictable, y'all. Ugh. The tornadoes, I know we had the really bad one back in like 2010 or something like that. I think that was around the same time that the flood had happened. and TSU had flooded really bad. Like that, the whole downtown, it was bad, y'all. And then I feel like that might have been right before the flood. And then these last couple of floods over the last few years, oh, they have been the tornado, excuse me, have been really bad. So yeah. So we hate to hear a tornado coming. Okay. So they end up getting a call that the Kane Brown concert is in some trouble. They got to get down there on the double because people are caught up under the equipment. So they get down there and they're trying to beat the storm, but it's like three to five people trapped. And they're trying to rig the fire trucks to get up this heavy stage equipment because it's so heavy, right? And so in the process of them getting it rigged and all of that, it runs a little bit. They have to run the engines, but then after a while, the contraption that they have to use, it ended up catching fire on a couple of them and it broke. So now they have to come up with another way to get this equipment off of them in time to beat this tornado that's finna get ready to hit in a matter of minutes. Put a pause in it because I forgot to tell y'all about this random other 911 call. So they are bringing out all the stops as far as highlighting all the landmarks, all the big landmarks in Tennessee because Nashville, because we find ourselves at Centennial Park over there by the Parthenon, and y'all, this little girl is enjoying her birthday celebration. Okay, now she is out there with one of the other is it Sam? She's out there with one of the other crew members from the fire department, and I can't remember which one it is, but she's got a dress on. She looks really pretty. And so, y'all, this little girl, it's time for her to open up her presents, right? And she's got all of these different electronics that are being gifted. Somebody done went way out of their way to get her a Switch. Somebody got her a VR headset. Somebody got her some headphones. These the quality headphones. I'm like, this is stuff that's on my baby's Christmas list. What are we talking about here? We doing this for somebody's birthday party? uh-uh. And it is, well, anyway. So she gets to, and then she even got gifted a unicorn, y'all. What? Uh-huh. Who said unicorns wasn't real? It was like a pony, y'all, but they put a horn on it to make it like a unicorn. Anywho, and then we get to our crew member's gift, and it's a kite. Whoever this lady is ended up gifting her a kite, and so this lady was like, "Oh man, I don't think I'm gonna be able to compete with all this electronic stuff. This is expensive, bougie stuff. What school she go to? What friends are you inviting to this party? Because I can't compete." So this is her niece. So the little girl is her niece, but I can't remember which crew member it is right now. I'm sorry, y'all. So she's finna get ready to go because she don't think that her gift is up to par. It's time for me to say goodbye. And so baby girl ended up coming up to her and she was like, "Hey TT, can you show me how to fly this kite? I think this is so cool." And so she ended up like wrapping her arm around the kite, right? So she was like, "Girl, okay, in a second you just gonna take off." Now mind you, these gusty winds been happening all weekend. And so the little girl take off, y'all, and it's so unrealistic. It didn't even look real in the thing. You could definitely tell that this was digitized. But she started running, y'all. She took off with the kite, and she ended up flying through the air. So they called 911, and they get Kimmy, right? And so they was like, "Oh, the little girl is flying through the air." And so Cammy was like, "Can you video record it or video chat with me?" I was like, "I didn't even know that that's a option." But I mean, hey, you got to roll with the times. Technology is technology. It's advancing. So you got to advance too. So she ended up video chatting with her. And she was like, "Okay, well, do y'all have anything that you could probably catch her with, like a blanket or something?" And I was like, "No." So they ended up grabbing one of the tablecloths for the birthday party. And y'all, as soon as they was trying to like move it in her direction to try to catch her, of course, one person moved the wrong way and the blanket went flying. Now, why nobody could get that blanket, I don't know. I have no clue. But they ended up like putting together this human makeshift blanket to catch her, where they was like locking wrists and all of that and trying to run around like you would like on one of them old cartoons or something like it. Now, normally on the cartoons, you still don't make the catch, but they caught her. Okay, so she got lucky. So everything was fine after that. The day was saved thanks to the Powerpuff Girls. Actually, it was just Cammy, but it's fine. so, so anyway, back to the Kane Brown concert. So that little contraptions that they was rigging to try to get the heavy equipment up, it wasn't working, y'all. They broke. They caught fire, and so they put them out. And then Captain was like, "Hey, y'all, we only got like 5 minutes before this tornado hit down here. We got to get these people together." And so he got the whole crew. He told the whole crew to come outside and help, right? And I was like, this is gonna take more than 5 minutes. But they ended up trying to lift it, and they did, but they couldn't lift it all the way. They couldn't lift it high enough to pull anybody out, right? So then, of course, it took Kane Brown. Hey, everybody, come on, let's go help them. He's handsome. Let's go help them. Help these other people that were here at the concert. Okay, no man left behind. And so they ended up. Everybody came together. It was real cute. I was like, oh, if only that was in real life, how things could work. If people could just come together, right? So they came together for the greater good to save these people. And they actually did. They were able to pull them out. Okay. Everybody is walking back into the shelter just in time, only for them to hear, help, help me. Y'all, why is the hard headed black man still caught up there? I was like, you know what? You didn't hear nobody screaming down here for the past 10, 15 minutes trying to instruct and direct people on how to get this equipment up off of these folks. You didn't hear nobody. You couldn't have said nothing before now. The tornado was finna hit in like 2.5 seconds. So Don, because he was up under like this tarp, y'all, so he would have been okay, relatively speaking. I mean, you had been up there for all this time, right? You ain't fell, you ain't wobbling. You pretty steady up there. Don, he couldn't, y'all. He couldn't leave that man behind. So you know what he decided to do? He decided to grab a ladder and try to get to this man, raise this tarp up off of him, all before this tornado could hit him. And as he is climbing this ladder, we see some movement up under the tarp, y'all. Don looked to his left like Tweet, and he see this tornado right there. Like it's right on top of them. And that's the way the episode ends, y'all. What is wrong with people? What is Don gonna do? Of course he gonna be able to save them in time, right? They got to. They ain't finna have Don come up in here for one episode and then they kill him off because he got caught up. Ain't gonna do that. But y'all let me know what y'all thought about it, okay? Will you be watching 911 Nashville? I'm telling y'all, I could not watch the back end of the original 911 because I heard that they had killed our boy Bobby off. Y'all, poor Athena. Poor Athena. But that's it, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about it, okay? You can reach me at Me and You TV Reviews on Facebook and on Instagram. You can also reach me at My TV Reviews Podcast without the S on the end at gmail.com. I love y'all. I didn't have no notes for that, so I hope y'all enjoyed it. If you enjoyed it that much, y'all go ahead and leave a review. It's been a minute. See, y'all was doing really good about leaving the reviews. I was loving the love, y'all. I was feeling it all. And then y'all ghosted me. So drop a review, leave a rating. Anything would be nice right now. Okay? I'm being vulnerable, y'all. I love y'all. Okay. Y'all stay safe out there. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And until we meet over the airwaves again, I am Mo, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye.